The Metropolitan Area Planning Council has made a couple of changes to the Lime Bike program previously offered this past year in Needham. There'll now be a demand-based system for the use of Lime bikes. The MAPC will also be changing from the regular bike model to that of an e-bike model, which is also known as a pedal assist bike. The Select Board heard from the Director of Finance and Administration for Public Services, Karis Lustig, and Assistant Town Manager and Director of Finance, Dave Davison, to discuss whether the board should permit the Lime Bike program for another year. The Select Board members shared their thoughts on geofencing, which is limiting where the bikes can be placed, as well as the number of Lime bikes assigned to the town of Needham.
The view is, from Needham's standpoint, that this new model of focusing on usage rather than just population is a positive step in some of the items that there were some complaints about. Maybe the number of bikes in Needham was too much. Will abate because they'll be basing their inventory more on ridership than on just the number of people who live in town.
I think a lot of the issues that people had is, I had the same issue and I support the program, is that they were way overstocked in the downtown. I don't have a problem with having some bikes at the edge of the common. I think that gives visibility to the program. We're very new into this. We haven't really tried it. We've had it a couple of months under unusual circumstances. I think we should give it a really serious try.
I like the concept of it. I wish there were private businesses who would have these bikes and locations and make a deal with them instead of these areas around town, which I just don't think fit with this model. But I would like to see a lot less bikes, geofencing of not just the common, maybe other areas, and really have it look better than the kind of eyesore billboard that I saw.
I just personally want to preserve the common and all the perimeter of the common. And I do that because, we're presented with and asked about the use of the common and the entire area. And I just like, there's a variety of reasons why we don't allow use of the common on an ongoing and regular basis. And that includes, in my opinion, the use of a biking company for which they want to get the advertising benefit. They should be able, there are other areas. I think this is a fine program. And like I said, I think the e-bike is going to present more usage for them in the town. So my concern would be total number of bikes and the geofencing.
And if they won't go with our demands, then I'm not interested in the program. It's, oh, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. I think we set the rules. This is $1 million advertising outside of the common on both sides. Right. And I want to be more direct with them. And if tonight's vote is that, we're going to do this, but we're not going to geofence the common, and then I'm not going to vote for it. But if there's something that we vote and then we hear more about it, then I think I'd be interested in that.
I've certainly heard the concern about, one, making sure the geofencing remains on the commons. Secondly, that the number of bikes are less because they weren't being used. There were several intersections that I recall seeing them that the bicycles did not move, and I suspect the company also has the data to show that. But if the number if there's not a sizable reduction in the number of bicycles, we'll explain the difficulty in that. We'll get a certain number of what they will start with. And if the direction is positive, we will tell them that the contract will be executed. If we cannot get definitive answers on that, we will state that we do not foresee signing the agreement for an extra year. So the fact that the board, if they were to vote that to support the continued participation, if those areas of concern are not addressed, we will not execute that agreement.
The board voted to continue the program provided the MAPC comply with their concerns. The decision must be finalized by March 15th.